Okay, so my name is Channa Gunawardana. I am from Nanaska. We are here to start the management level case study for August 2022, or we call it gateway exams. Just to give a little brief about the SEMA and this particular exam called management level exams, SEMA has changed a lot in last 10 years. SEMA has changed a lot in last 10 years. 10 years prior life, before 10 years, we were a finance-based qualification. Management accounting was our core. We were teaching detailed financial calculation. I can remember I was teaching, the students were asked to prepare a profit and loss account. Students were asked to prepare a balance sheet. Students were asked to prepare a cash flow. Students were asked to prepare a balance sheet that will balance both sides. It was a big challenge. And I used to write questions like that. I used to teach how to do the P&L balance sheet cash flow. Students used to calculate. So all those were there in the past. Today, the qualification is entirely different. The thinking is entirely different. The qualification and thinking both are entirely different. Today, we are not looking at detailed finance-based qualification. Today, we are looking at not building a finance professional. We are today looking at building a business leader. Our objective is to build a business leader. Our objective is to build someone who will give the leadership for the organization, who will start a business, run a business successfully, who will work for a company, ensure that organization does well, ensure that they do double their profits. That's our objective. Our objective now is to build a very good CEO, Chief Executive Officer for the market. So with that, your expectation should have changed. What you do on the exam day must have changed. Our questions have changed. The way we teach has changed. Now, I don't do the detailed financial accounting questions. What do I do now? I now share my experience as a CEO. I do work as a CEO for a public listed company. So I have a fair experience in the journey of being a CEO, how to build a successful organization, how to double the profits. Those are the things that we have done in the organizations where we were attached. So that's what I share now. So for you to teach this subject in today's context, you need to have a CEO. You need to have someone who is working as a CEO for a real world large organization. Then only you can come and teach, because the requirements are different. Now your thinking also has to change. You can't come in to learn all the detailed theories. No, they're not there. They have been taken out of the syllabus. We have taken out detailed P&L, cash flow, calculations, balance sheet preparation. We have taken out of the syllabus 10 years ago. We have included things like IoT, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, 3D printing, cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, all that we have included. So things are different now. It's a different qualification now. It's entirely a different qualification now. Expectation has to be different. I'm sure expectations are also different. So in that journey, I can proudly say that, because I'm part of the SEMA Global Council. We do have the meetings in London quite often, few times a year. Next week we have meetings in London. So likewise, I can tell you that's the idea of SEMA. So now in that journey, there are 3 case studies available. You are trying to do the middle case study, what we call management level case study. So there is some level of theories that are required, of course, but not the depth that we usually take, not the depth that you would have gone in any other qualification. But here we look at a lot of business level, practical business cases, common sense matters. How do you manage a very practical business issues is what we discuss within the course. They are the examples that I'll be taking from my life, being a CEO of a public listed company for last many years. What are the things that we do go through? What are the things that we get involved? Those are the things that we discuss within the course. Those are the ones that will ensure that will ensure you pass the exam first time without a doubt. So the model is interesting. There's a pre-seen paper available. You have 6 weeks to go through, read, learn, do industry research, do whatever you want. You come for the exam day. On the exam day, you will get the question papers based on that particular pre-seen paper available. Exam paper is 3-hour exam paper. There are 4 different sections available. 3-hour exam paper, 4 different sections available. Each section is for 45 minutes. So one section 45, likewise there are 4 sections available for 3 hours. Each section will come as an email from your boss. You got to respond to that email. It's coming like an email from your boss. So the email that you get from your boss is the question paper. You got to reply to that email, that's your answer. So 4 different emails you get from the boss. You got to write 4 different replies to that. That's going to be your answer. Each section is for 45 minutes. Now, you can't take more than 45 minutes, obviously, right? Even in the real world, that's the situation, no? When your boss say, by 2 o'clock, I want it, by 2 o'clock, I want it. By 2 o'clock, you got to send it. So therefore, when the 45 minutes are over, email will be gone automatically. When the 45 minutes are over, email will go automatically, right? However, let's say you have taken 30 minutes and you have written everything that you know about the question asked, and you have written a lot of things that are unrelated as well. That's what most of us do. We'll need to correct that as we go on. But only 30 minutes gone. If you want, you can send the email out, but that balance 15 minutes will be a permanent loss, which means you can't take that 15 minutes to a different section. You can't take that 15 minutes to a different section. You can't carry forward that 15 minutes. You can't come back to the same section to use that 15 minutes. You can't do that. You can't come back to the same section to use that 15 minutes. You can't do that. So all what I'm trying to tell you is, it's a 3-hour paper, 4 different sections available. Each section is for 45 minutes. It's like you are in your real world office environment. The boss will send an email. The email will say, hi, I hope you had a very good weekend. I have a little trouble. Please see what was published yesterday in newspapers. We are concerned about it. Can you please tell me how we can react to this situation? The questions will be like that. Questions will be like that. Can you please tell me how we can react to this situation? That's what the questions will look like. The traditional question, please write 3 advantages and 2 disadvantages of this method. That kind of questions will not come. That kind of questions will not come. Since you did not hear me before, I'm still worried. Therefore, can you please, everyone, can you please say you heard me well and you are clear of what I say? Is it clear what I say? Please tell me whether everything is good. Okay, very good. Very good. Yeah, everyone is saying. Okay, very good. So this is what this exam paper is all about. Now, when I teach management level case study, we are starting it from today, but next week is where the real work is happening. Next week is where the real work is happening. But during the week also, you will get some videos and audios coming in as well. But when we start the course from today, I'm going to work with you on 10 different steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to work with you on 10 different steps. The first 2 steps are really, really nice. They are called KYP and KYI. They are called KYP and KYI. As I mentioned before, SEMA will give you a pre-scene for you. Look at the pre-scene SEMA has given this time. For the August 2022 exam, this is the pre-scene that SEMA has given. It's a very interesting, simple company called Piping. Name of the company is Piping. We are manufacturing tea. We are manufacturing tea. Piping Beverages is a quoted company that manufactures packaged tea for sale to retailers. They are a public listed company. Always, when there is a public listed company, we enjoy the case study because I can share a lot of experience of being a CEO of a public listed company. And in most cases, the case studies are public listed companies anyway. They are manufacturing packed tea. They are in a nice country called Northlandia. The currency is $10, very developed country. Standard of living is very high, strong economy. That means people must be relaxing their life. I'm sure people must be drinking a lot of tea there. So this is the country where we are based called Northlandia, and we are a company called Piping. The longer name is Piping Beverages, but we call ourselves Piping, right? We are a Piping. What do? We manufacture tea. So now in this SEMA pre-scene, then they have given the details about the tea industry, where the tea is grown in the world, and what kind of tea that is available. What do you mean by black tea? What do you mean by green tea? And what is the average prices of tea? What are the different ways of selling tea? You have heard teapots, right? Teapot is, you can put it to a tea machine. So when you put the teapot and when you press it, you will get a tea, like very similar to coffee, right? So now this pre-scene is available for you. However, this pre-scene is 24 pages long. My face is not coming on. Okay. However, this pre-scene is 24 pages long. And it is not written in a very reader-friendly way because the objective was different. Objective of the pre-scene is to give you so much of information. So we are given so much of information in that. However, to make your life easier, we give you a document called KYP. KYP stands for Know Your Pre-scene. So that's the first document that you will be getting, which is called KYP, Know Your Pre-scene. So when you go through this document, your life would have been much, much easier. Your life would have been much, much easier because there's a summarized version available here. So now even the basic details are summarized. Name of the company is Piping Beverages. Company type, quoted. Listed on the Northlandian Stock Exchange in 1974. Oh my gosh. That's not a new company, man. That's a very old company. Since 1974, we have been a listed company. Okay. Location, Northlandia, developed country with strong economy. Operations, manufacturing packed tea to be sold to retailers. Don't forget, whenever you say manufacturing packed tea, read that word, manufacturing packed tea. What do you mean by manufacturing packed tea? Manufacturing packed tea doesn't mean we grow tea. How can I say? Manufacturing packed tea means we don't grow tea. That means we don't have a tea plantation. Whenever you grow tea, whenever you grow the tree of the tea and take the plants out, that is what you call plantation. We are not going to grow. We buy tea from outsiders and we do the packing and selling only. We do the packing and selling only, right? Okay, someone else can't hear me again, but I'm sure others can hear me this time because so others, can you confirm you can hear me? Yeah. Right. Okay. So I'm sure you need to sort out from your side. Refresh. Maybe you need to refresh and see, please. Right. Okay. So coming back, we don't grow tea. We don't grow. We buy tea from somewhere. In Northlandia, do we grow tea? No. We import tea. So we must be importing tea from Kenya, Sri Lanka. We might be importing tea from various different countries. We don't grow tea. We bring the tea and we pack it and sell it in mostly in this country called Northlandia, right? So this, I'm sorry, I jumped, right? Okay. Key selling point, use imported high quality tea leaves. we imported high quality tea leaves. That means we don't grow tea, all right? That means we don't grow tea. Origin founded in 1852 in Northlandia's central city. 700 employees along with 200 more involved in buying, marketing and administration. So this is the document that you will find it easier to read. This is what you call KYP. The what you call KYP, where things are given in a better format for you. You will find it easy to learn in this format, right? Look at our structure. We have board of directors, we have a chief executive, right? And we have a non-executive chairman. Wow. Good for the corporate governance. Non-executive chairman is good for the corporate governance. Ideally, the non-executive chairman should be independent as well, because non-executive means no executive power. Non-executive means will not get involved with any of the executive decision making. That's what non-executive is. But independent or not is a different issue. Now, in my company that I worked before, in the company that I, not my company, right? It was a public listed company. In the company that I worked before, we had a 21% shareholder. So that 21% shareholder came in to meet us and said, look here, I have 21% of your company. I want to appoint a director. I want to appoint a director. So we were fine with it. But he said that director will never get involved with any of the executive decision making. He will not go and sign checks, decide what to sell, what price to sell. No, he won't get involved. But I want to appoint him because I have 21% of your company. I want to know what is happening there. So that director came in as non-independent, non-executive director. Not non-executive, no executive power, but non-independent. Why non-independent? He was not an independent director. Why? Why he was not an independent director? Can you please type? Why he was not an independent director? Why he was not an independent director? Can you please type? He is representing a 21% shareholder. He was representing 21% shareholder. Therefore, he was not independent. He was not independent. He was not independent because he was representing 21% shareholder. Right? Other non-executives, for them to be independent, we should recruit, we should take them from some other companies, CEOs, some other companies, marketing guys, likewise, right? So here we have a non-executive chairman. We don't know whether he's independent or not. Then we have a chief. I hope you can see what I am talking about. Let me try to mark it as well so it will be clearer for you. So then we have a we have a chief operating officer. We have a chief operating officer, right? Then we have marketing and distribution director. Okay, we have finance director. We have HR director. We have product development director. And we have 5 non-executive directors. What do? We buy tea from other countries, good tea. We pack and sell it. Okay. So who are the directors we have? Chief operating officer, marketing and distribution director, finance director, HR director, product development director. Who is doing most critical functions are the buying of the tea is the most critical function. I can't see any purchasing director. Maybe purchasing job is done by the COO. I don't know. So we need to figure that out. Why we have a product development director? That's very important because we get tea from different companies, different countries. We blend them. We do a blending process, mixing process. We blend them to get a certain taste. So product development is very, very important. We continuously need to do the product development. So this is the company that we are talking about. And look at the financials. We are given a summary. Wow. Net profit margin, only 8%, no? So small mistake, you will be gone. Gearing is not very high, not very low, 34%. So what I'm trying to tell you is, the first step that we do is what we call KYP. You can't learn about the company unless you learn about the industry very well. Unless you learn about the industry industry, you can't learn about the company very well. You got to know what the best industry practices are. Therefore, second step is called KYI. Can you please tell me what KYI stand for? Can you please make a guess what the KYI might be standing for? KYI might be standing for. KYP is know your pre-scene. KYI, you can't get to know the pre-scene unless you know what the industry is all about. Very good. KYI is know your industry. KYI is know your industry. Can you check what is in the KYI? Wow. KYI will tell you about the history of tea. When and where drinking tea has started. And this is the plant, Camellia sinensis. Camellia sinensis. Camellia sinensis is the plant where we take the plants from. That's the tree where we take the plants from, right? Leaves are taken from this plant. That is what we call tea. When the leaves of this plant is taken, we call it the tea that we usually say, right? So this is details about that particular plant. I mean, you don't need to know all of that. And then the history of tea. Then we are giving introduction to tea industry, where we start from growing the tea, cultivation and harvesting. We don't do that. We just buy tea. We are doing the easy job. We are just buying tea. But here we have given the details of how do you plant tea. How do you plant tea? So you got to know how do you plant it, processing, and the classification of the tea that is available. And then you will see what are the countries that tea is being grown heavily. The details about the tea auctions. Tea is sold via an auction. So how the auction works, right? And there's something called tea. It's a habit. Tea culture. Tea culture. Some countries kind of drink tea. It's a culture. Some countries drink green tea. It's a culture. Real world companies. Lipton, headquarters in London, but they bought the tea plantations in Sri Lanka, right? So Lipton is a well-known tea brand all over the world. Tetley is well-known tea brand all over the world. Dilma is well-known tea brand all over the world. So much of KYI, wow. KYI will have so much of details about the growing tea, tea plantations, selling tea, consumption of tea, so much of details are available. So those are the first two steps. One is KYP, second one is KYI. Then move into GR and DD. GR is ground rules. GR is ground rules. Ground rules means what are the basic rules available in doing SEMA for you. On the exam day, what are the rules available? Before that, what are the rules available? Right? Now, as an example, I'm not going to teach ground rules now, but I'll tell you a few ground rules available. You cannot copy and paste from the question paper to the answer. The question paper is there, email from the boss. You can't copy from the boss's email to your answer. Copy and paste is not allowed. Copy and paste is not allowed. Right? You can't. Spelling and grammar mistakes will not get underlined. Whenever you do a spelling and grammar mistake, if the word, your wrongly typed words will get underlined, it won't happen here. It won't happen here. It won't happen here. It won't happen here. All right? So likewise, there are so many rules available. DD is what we do is in-depth analysis of the pre-scene. Absolutely in-depth analysis of the pre-scene. So in the deep dive, we'll be arguing things like we buy tea from which country? We must be buying tea from Kenya. We must be buying tea from Mexico. We must be buying tea from America. We must be buying tea from Sri Lanka. Then you look at, okay, should we buy a tea plantation on our own? Ah, that kind of discussions are taken up in the deep dive. That kind of discussions are taken up in the deep dive. That kind of discussions are taken up in the deep dive, right? So that is what the deep dive is there for. The stage number 5 is called co-activities. That is because there are 5 different co-activities available for the exam day. Trust me, our life is much easier. Our life is much easier because in SEMA, for management level, all the questions will come from 5 different co-activities available. All the questions will come from 5 different co-activities available. As long as you master those co-activities, the game is done. So these are the 5 different co-activities available. A, B, C, D, E. 5 different co-activities available. Co-activity A, evaluate opportunities to add value. I'm trying to buy a tea plantation. Oh, is it a good idea? Can I evaluate that option? Can you do an NPV calculation to evaluate that option? That will come under evaluate opportunities. Implement senior management decisions. Manage cost performance. How do you measure cost? How do you set KPI, balance scorecard? Manage internal, external stakeholders. So those are the 5 core activities that will be tested on the exam day. Each core activity has equal marks. Each core activity will cover minimum of 15%, maximum of 25%. Each core activity will cover minimum of 15%, maximum of 25%. This is what the exam structure is. So we will learn about it. This is what we call stage number 5, core activities. Stage number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 are very easy. Stage number 6, refresh theory. If you have a doubt that you are not going through E2, P2, F2 properly, don't worry. It's my job. I'll take you through E2, P2, F2 entirely very well at my end. E2, P2, F2 teaching is called refresh theory. Then you have a section called, so section number 6 is what we call refresh theory. Then you have a section called practice. Section number 7 is called practice, where we will give you one mock paper and the answer for you to get an idea about what kind of questions will come. Section number 8 is called reality. Reality is mock number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Up to 9, you can do the mocks on the exam engine, get the feedback. That is what you call reality section. That's a very critical section. You do the mocks, we mark and give you the feedback. We'll tell you one by one how you should be improving your performance. Section number 9 has too many things. Power mock, possible issues, financial mock, right? Section number 10 is the revision and one-to-one review. Those are the 10 sections that we do. All right. So can you remember section number 6, section number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? 6 is refresh theory, E2, P2, F2 refresh theory. Section number 7 is practice, mock number 1 and the answer. Section number 8 is reality, mock number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for you to do on the exam condition, our exam engine, which is very similar to SEMA exam engine. Section number 9 is a Kottua that has many things in it. Possible issues, possible issues, power mock, financial mock. And the last one is revision and one-to-one support. So those are the 6, 7, 8, 9, right? So I had taken 30 minutes. Now I want to relax a little bit. I want you to relax a little bit. So maybe you should ask questions. But before that, can you type the first 5 steps? See how well you remember. First 5 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't type one by one and enter. Type 1, comma, 2, comma, 3, comma. Type all 5 in one line and press enter. Type all 5 in one line and press enter. Let's see how many people give the right answer in 30 seconds time. In 30 seconds time, let's see how many people can give the right answer. Starting from now. Wow, very good. I'm very happy. Everyone is giving shortened names as well. Very good. Super. Very happy. That means you remember. That means you will pass. That means you remember. Very happy. Great start. All right. So it is KYP, KYI, ground rules, deep dive, and the co-activities. And the co-activities. Right. You are for the co-activities. You are saying CA. Even I don't do that. Maybe I should start using that. Okay. Thank you very much. My 30 minutes are over. I'll talk more. I'll give more updates very soon. But please type your questions now. Please type your questions now. So I had done the 30 minutes talking, right? First 30 minutes talking done, right? Now your questions. Now your questions. Please type your questions now. Okay, so there are many questions available. Okay, let's answer. Is this same as May pre-scene? Yes. May and August, same pre-scene. What's the pass mark? Okay. Pass mark, not many people know what SEMA is doing in reality. So since this question is asked, let me explain that in detail, but not many people know what SEMA is doing in reality. The pass mark for a average paper is 60. Pass mark for average paper is 60, right? However, that varies a little bit because on the exam day, there will be 3 different exam papers that they set for August exam. As an example, this August exam, there will be 3 different exam papers. So when you do the exams today, you might get one paper. The person who is doing the exam with you, next to you, might get a different paper. You do the exams today and there are 3 days available for you to do the exams. You might do the exams on the first day or a second day or a third day. you might get a different paper because there are 3 different papers available. So SEMA is trying to go to the extreme extent to ensure justice is done for everyone. Sophisticated systems are available, therefore. What they do is they will say, look here, some papers might be slightly more easier than the other papers. Some papers might be slightly more difficult than the other papers out of those 3 papers. Therefore, SEMA says pass mark is 60%. However, if your paper is more difficult, ranked as more difficult, your pass mark might be 58. If your paper is marked as an easier paper, your pass mark can be 62 or 63. Therefore, this is the mechanism that they use. These are the mechanism that they use. Right? That's the mechanism that they use. So I don't want to go into details of how they do it because I think it will not be important. What are the case study dates in August? August case study dates are, I'm sure you have them. They are in the third week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? They're in the third week. Exact dates not in my mind. I can check it from here. I'm trying to check it from that. But to save your time, I can tell you they are on the third week of exam dates are on the third week of August. So let me tell you the exact dates. I should be able to tell you. Yeah, August exam dates are 17th and 19th of August. 17, 18, 19th of August, the exams are there on 3 different days. 17th, 18th, and 19th, your exams are on those 3 days. So by when we should complete the competencies for 3 subjects, your time. The competencies, those who are coming, okay, FLP teams. Those who are coming through FLP, I should tell you a few things, right? So you have to do a self-assessment. Assessment of your competencies. It's not an exam. So don't take it as a magical work. It's not an exam. You just go and evaluate yourself, right? So don't think it's a major issue available. You just need to go and self-assess yourself. But of course, there are a few questions that you need to answer. There are a few documents that you need to read. So Nanaska will help you to go through, read them. You must have gone through some sessions. And if you have a struggle, if you have some struggle, any struggle with any of the subjects, you should let me know because I'll be able to help you. Right? Are there any calculations to be done on the exam day? Or answers has to build through calculations? Kaushal Ratnaki is a known name. Were you there before? Okay, are there any calculations to be done in the exam? No calculations to be done on the exam day. I told you, all the detailed calculations were removed, taken out of the window. So no calculations to be done. They might calculate and give you something for you to comment. So how many hours do we need to study for a week? Okay, interesting questions. Someone else also asked something very similar. Now, we agree a timetable with you because all of you guys are working. Hence, all of you guys are busy. Hence, all of you guys are lazy. Hence, none of you all are very much interested in doing this exam, doing this studies. Therefore, what we do is we have a timetable with you. We follow up that timetable on every week. What we say is study about 1.5 hours every day and more hours towards the weekend. Weekend maybe about 5 hours a day. But during the week, 1.5 hours to 1 hour a day. 1 to 1.5 hours a day. Weekend maybe about 5 hours. But you can't 5 hours in the weekend only for 6 weeks. Only for 6 weeks, right? Not for the entire life. So I think we should try to allocate that. Do we have to travel to the exam center? We can do it from home. The option of doing it from home is available. So E2, P2, F2 higher proportion tested for the exam? No. Pre-scene available in the exam day? Good question. On the exam day, if you want, you can click and see the pre-scene. But of course, you should know the pre-scene. You can't go and check the pre-scene and see, what industry is this company from? You can't. But you can quickly go and say, what was their profit? What was the gearing? 38 or 35 or 83? I can't remember. That kind of something quick that you can go and check. How can we get the case study? When you go to our LMS, you will be able to get the detail. The case study is available. So I have answered all your questions. Now I'm going to go into my second session. So today this discussion will take only 1.5 hours. Will take only 1.5 hours, which means another 40 minutes only this discussion will go. Another 40 minutes only this discussion will go. Okay. Any more questions? Can I move on to the second part? Drink some water. Okay, let's take a break quickly. Can we take 8-minute break? Drink some water. Drink some water. Refresh yourself. Talk to someone. Give a little trouble to someone. And come back in 8 minutes. Are we good to do that? Are we good to do that? So first homework that you should do is first homework. The work that you need to do from now to the next week. The first point is on the exam day, typing speed matters a lot. On the exam day, you are going to do 3 activities. On the exam day, you are going to do 3 activities. You are going to read, think and type. You are going to read, think and type. You are going to read the questions, read the exam paper, think what that question is all about, think what the answer should be, then you do the typing. So you are doing 3 activities. You are doing the reading, thinking and typing. As far as so if you look at one section, take one section will have 45 minutes. One section will have 45 minutes. So total available time for a section is 45 minutes. Read, you generally take about 7 minutes. For you to properly read, you need to take approximately about 7 minutes. Then thinking, you have about 15 minutes to think. Now, not that you are thinking entire 15 minutes and typing. When you type also, you stop typing and thinking. When you type also, you should stop typing and thinking. You're not saying, okay, let me think. Now 15 minutes is gone. Now I'll type. No. You do that together, but I'm trying to separate them. So how many minutes are available for you to type for a one section? How many minutes are available for you to type for a one section? How many minutes are available for you to type in one section? $23 minutes. So type in 23 minutes available, right? So we need to look at what your WPM is, because typing speed is very, very critical. Typing speed is very, very critical. So your WPM, if it is 22, 23, it's a reasonable WPM. WPM means words per minute. Typing words per minute. If your WPM is 22, 23, it's average. It's good actually. If your WPM is 17, 18, it's low. If your WPM is 30, if your WPM is 30, very good. If your WPM is 35, 36, excellent. About 22 is the average. About 22 is the average. So that means you type approximately, you type about 23 minutes at the speed of 22. You type about 23 minutes at the speed of 20. Let's take 22. No, let's take 23 into 23 is about, I mean, if you type about 600 words, that is good enough is my view. If you type about 600 words, that is good enough. So maybe you take about 12 minutes to read the question. But approximately, if you take the maths, 23 into 23 is 529. So that range is fine. That range is fine. That range is fine. right? Now, can you do that? Can you type at that speed? Let's see what your typing speed is. So what I want you to do, homework number one, what I want you to do is type 4 days a week, every day 20 minutes, 20 minutes approximately, 20 minutes or a little bit more, and calculate your WPM and tell me what it is next week. When you calculate WPM, when you type, please type something that you know. Not that you are going to think and type. Just type something that you know. Best thing that you can type is you can type Sunday newspaper. You can type Sunday Times. Take Sunday Times and type. Then you can email it to the editor saying that please see the soft copy of your last week newspaper, right? Or type the pre-scene. Type the pre-scene. Type something that you know for 20 minutes and calculate your WPM for each day and the average. We need to improve your WPM, and if it is very low, I'll tell you a different strategy that you need to follow on the exam day compared to the other students. I'll tell you a different strategy that you need to follow on the exam day compared to the other students. So this is homework number one for you to follow for the next week, right? So there are three things that you are doing on the exam day: reading, thinking, typing. Reading is 7 minutes. Therefore, when you read, we don't worry about the speed. Please listen to me carefully. Please listen to me carefully. When you read, we don't worry about the speed. If you want, you read slow. Who cares? If you read 50% slow, that means you might need another 3.5 minutes. We are okay with it. We are okay with it. Reading, we only worry about accuracy. Reading, we only worry about accuracy. Did you read it right? Did you read it right is the only thing that we want. We don't want speed. In typing, we don't care about accuracy. We care about speed. In typing, some spelling mistakes, some grammar mistakes, that is fine. On the exam day, grammar and spelling mistakes will not be even marked. When you type in the Word file, the grammar mistakes will get highlighted. No, it will not get highlighted on the exam day. Grammar and spelling mistakes are forgiven. Therefore, when you read, we don't worry about speed. We worry about speed. Sorry, I'm sorry. When you read, we don't worry about speed. We worry about accuracy. When you type, we don't worry about accuracy. We worry about speed. So you should be able to type very, very fast. Some spelling and grammar mistakes are there. That is fine. Right? So that's the first homework for the next week. Right? Will Seema deduct marks for grammar mistakes, spelling mistakes? No, Seema will not. Seema will not. That's what I said just now, right? Seema will not. Don't worry. Be happy about it, right? Okay. Secondly, I want to set your mind right. This exam paper is not about your theory knowledge. This is not a test on your theory knowledge. This is to see how practical you are. This is to see how practical you are. Right? This is to see how practical you are. Right? So therefore, what is needed is very practical mindset needs to be there to manage the questions. Exam day questions will be very, very practical questions. Therefore, I want you to look at this piping. You can look at the KYP. You can look at the piping KYP and ask some basic questions. How can we double the profits? How can we double the profits? We are buying tea from some other country. That means we don't have any control for the tea that we buy, right? That means we don't have any control for the tea that we buy, right? So should we have our own plantation? And where are we selling our tea? We are selling our tea in North India. Can't we export? Likewise, some basic understandings I want you to have. right? So you need to do the type-in test and you need to start reading the pre-scene with a very practical mind. Don't try to think how to apply theories. Try to see how to resolve very practical problems available. With that, we can start the game. With that, we can start the game. So we have a LMS, Learning Management System. All the lectures will be recorded and they'll be available there. So if you miss a lecture, don't worry. If you miss a lecture, don't worry. You can just go and watch the recording. You can go and watch the recording. So if you miss a lecture, that will not be a problem. It will not be a problem. You can go and watch it. On the LMS, all the materials like the KYP, KYI, mock papers, everything will be available. So that's the LMS. Then we have exam engine, very similar to CMA exam engine. Then we have the WhatsApp group where you will be able to ask quick questions. I'll be able to answer. Some audios will come into the WhatsApp group. I want you to be active on the WhatsApp. I will do everything that is needed to ensure you pass. I want the full support from you guys as well. I want the full support from you guys as well. I want you to allocate about 1 hour every day. Weekend more hours, but these for 6 weeks. These are not for 6 years. These not even for 6 months. Just 6 weeks, 1.5 months. I am sure you will be able to sacrifice. I will sacrifice things and ensure that you get what you need. I want you to sacrifice things and do what is right for MCAs, so all of us can be happy when we get the results of the August 2022 MCAs exam. All right. So that's my basic part that I wanted to cover today. Any questions? I will leave it for you to ask questions. Please ask questions. Let's answer the questions. Oh, sorry. You asked this question before I forgot. I'm sorry. My mistake. The question that was asked, is it open book exam? No, it's not an open book exam. It's not an open book exam. You can't keep the books with you. Yes, right? Do they check spelling? No, they don't. Can we study past papers? Yes. Past papers, again, I don't want you to study per se. What I do is we have the past papers available, but the videos are available on the past papers. So you can go and watch my videos. Those videos will get uploaded. Can we download the print what's available? Download, yes. Print, I'm not sure, but you can see it from there. Past papers, you don't need to go and do it on your own, Shachinta. Reason is it's a different pre-scene. So you have the videos. I'll do the past papers. In my session, I will do the past papers. Don't worry. Okay. Any more questions? So if you're not registered yet, please do register now itself. Send an email just now. Please send an email and register now itself. I want you to register because then we can close the registrations and start the sessions from next week. We will be closing the registration very soon anyway. So please send the email to info@nanaska.com so you can do the registration. We'll be closing the registration quite soon. And this is my WhatsApp number if you want to clarify and send me an email. So please do the registration today itself. Send an email and do the registration today so that chapter can be closed. So that's all. Thank you very much. All the very best. See you soon. When you register, we'll create the WhatsApp group and I'll start talking to you in the WhatsApp group in various ways and we'll be in touch. Right? Unless you have any questions. Unless you